Hi, everybody, and welcome into the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show on a Monday, Columbus Day. Joined by Brownwood Lions head football coach, athletic director Sammy Burnett, as always, at beautiful Gordonwood Stadium. Check it out.
Yes, always beautiful.
Well, it is. I love Gordonwood Stadium. Is there a better place on Friday night?
I would have to say no. You
I
look
agree
up those
with you.
stands and they're packed every Friday night. It's a neat experience.
Boy, they were packed the other night, except on the Heritage side.
Yeah, they don't travel real well, do they?
Isn't that amazing how some of those teams, even like Kennedale, some of those that are perennial, powers, they just don't travel that well to like their playoff games and stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've experienced a lot of that being in the Metroplex. Midlothian's a multi-school town, so you don't get the allegiance like you normally do at one-horse towns is what we call them. But I've been to a lot of 6A games, and they're in the 4th and 5th round, and you go to a game and you have more fans at a 4A or a 3A game because it's just allegiance. Look at Frisco. They have 11 schools. Who are you loyal to?
Yeah.
You know everybody because you're friends. You live across the street from them, but you go to different schools, so there's not as much allegiance as there are in places like Brownwood, country communities, and that's what makes Brownwood so special. And we'll out-travel most everybody we play. We go to China Spring, and we have as many people in the stands at China Spring as they have at home. So just a testament to the support that we have in our community, which is a big deal.
That's right, and we love the community support of the Brownwood Lions and all of our area football teams. We did that May game Thursday. I guarantee they had more people than Heritage did on Friday.
And I'll even go a little further. If you think about it, the best 3 games that we've played this year have been at home. And I think it has a ton to do with the support of the community. And the kids feel that, and they feed off of that, and I think they perform better.
Well, talking about Friday night, performing better. I know, we didn't get the victory that we wanted, but I'm telling you, I saw some fire in the kids. I saw some fight in the kids, and we talked about it after the game. So after reviewing film and going over, what do you see and what did you like?
Well, number one, 2 weeks of having to swallow that pill of not showing up against Abilene Wiley. We laid an egg, and that's the best way I can explain it. We came out flat. We weren't ready to play. We didn't execute. We didn't do the things that we were asked to do or the things that we worked on all week, and it showed. And we just told our kids, still working on buying in and becoming one and becoming a team. And that's a little bit more difficult nowadays than it used to be because we live in a society that's based on me, and to serve someone else and to think about others before yourself is sort of uncommon nowadays, but we're still working on that. And I thought we did a good job of it Friday. Our kids came out and they didn't give up, and if you were in the locker room before the game, me just talking to them and the energy that I felt through them, and then coming in at halftime and the energy at halftime, and those kids were bought in. They were playing for each other, and they did exactly what I asked them to do. And I told them, I told them on Thursday what my prayer Thursday night was for them, and that they come out and play in a way that's pleasing to the Lord, number one, and to our community, and play for each other and not for yourself, and play with great passion and great character. And I thought they did that. And I told them that at halftime that was coming to fruition. And, we left that locker room with, we can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, And the kids were I thought their energy was great, and I thought they fought, and I thought they played well together. The bottom line is we didn't put the ball in the end zone in times we could have based with some penalties, put us behind the chains, and then, giving up the big play. And, like I said, on those big plays, a couple of them, it's just unfortunate. We had 2 receivers run into each other. 2 defenders run into each other, and the kid catches a ball. And then to their credit, on a couple of those balls, at quarterback's an outstanding football player, and I said that before. He put 2 of them on the button when we had them covered.
Yes.
And that's just a testament to him and his abilities. But other than some big plays, I think we're right there in that ball game. And the closer you are in that ball game, the more you believe that, more things can go your way. But all in all, it was a loss, but there's always things to be learned from a loss. And I was extremely pleased the way that our kids fought the entire night and never gave up.
Boy, me too. Yeah, 5 of their 6 touchdowns came on plays of over 30 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of...
It's hard to swallow, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
5 of their 6 touchdowns came on plays over 30 yards, and people are like, well, blah, blah, blah. What a lot of people don't understand, the stats in high school football the farther, I know this is going to sound dumb, and I'm going to break it down the best I can. The farther you are from the end zone, the more opportunity you have to make mistakes in high school football, because in high school football, you're not at the level that they play on Saturday or Sunday, and your ability to not execute is higher. To miss an assignment, to get a penalty, whatever it may be, and to make a mistake. So the farther you are from the end zone, the lower your percentages are scoring. I know that sounds remedial, but if I showed you the numbers, you'd be surprised. But so if you can keep a team from having big plays and make them march down the field, more times than not, you're going to force a punt. Right. You're going to force a turnover. You're going to force a fourth down and go for it and make a stop. We had 2 of them the other night. Stopped them on fourth down twice. But when you give them a big play, it's just a gift. So, and that's our focus today defensively, is be simple and sound at what we're doing. Do your job. Don't give up the big play. If they make a play, keep it in front, rally, stop them, go to the next play. But let's just don't give them freebies, what I call freebies. If you look at La Vega's a team that's just going to pound it. They're going to be simple. They're going to run zone. They're going to run counter. They're going to run zone. They're going to run counter. They're going to get bored, and they're going to run it the other direction. That's just what they do, and they're very good at it. And you'll hit them in the mouth, next play goes for 70.
Yeah.
And, that's what we got to keep from happening. If we can keep that from happening against a team like La Vega is a good football team. But I still think that if we played our potential and can grow off what we did Friday night, we have an opportunity to be in the game. And if we can stop the big play and then not get behind the chains ourselves, we can be successful.
Oh, I totally agree. Watched a little bit of the La Vega film against Stephenville. Of course, Stephenville 35-7 over at La Vega. Does that surprise you at all?
Not really. I talked to Don Hyde, who's a good friend of mine. Of course, he's giving me the line of, I told you we're not going to be very good. Well, you're ranked number 2 in the state, Coach. You're pretty good. You're ranked number 3. They're a good football team. They're right in there with Midlothian Heritage. That's going to be a knockdown drag. I don't know who's going to win that game. But Stephenville right now is playing sort of head and shoulders better than a lot. They got several move-ins that are helping them. Their middle linebackers tremendously physical and does a great job. They have a couple of receivers on the outside that the quarterback honestly just throws it up and they go make plays. So Stephenville is good. He even said that, Coach. He said Stephenville is a good football team. I said, I know they are, but we're not worried about them until week 10, week 11. Stephenville held La Vega to 7, and that's just a testament to them. But can we do the same thing? Sure we can. It's all about making your fits and being physical and just making plays. And, on that, Quentin Thompson's the senior safety for us, number 23. And I talked to him during the game and after the game, and I really thought he matured. This is what I'm talking about. Quentin became physical Friday night.
That's funny because Scott and I in the booth said the same thing.
Yeah, he played with passion.
Yes, he did.
He wasn't making excuses like we've done in the past, and he just went and started making plays. And all of a sudden, he became more confident and he became more physical. That's what I'm talking about when you have a senior that hadn't played on the varsity and he's in his 6th football game, and all of a sudden it starts to click and he turns into a player. Really pleased with him. That's what I'm talking about. If we can feed off that and get the next guy to do it and the next guy to do it. I'll give you a good example. Thad Hines played corner for us. Thad Hines came up and made a couple of plays that we haven't seen Thad make, and all of a sudden Thad gained confidence in himself as a corner. And Thad could have played corner for us a lot earlier in the season, but he just lacked the confidence to step out there and do it. So what you're seeing there is a maturation of a group of kids that doesn't have a ton of varsity level experience. All of a sudden, they're continuing to get that experience. They're continuing to work, and all of a sudden, maybe that light switch is starting to come on, and they're starting to see evidence of what we're trying to talk to them about and what they just got to go out there and experience anyway. So I think we have some good things going for us. I thought Quentin Mccarty played a heck of a football game.
I was just fixing to mention Quentin.
Yes, Quentin's a quiet kid. Funny. He's a yes-sir kid. You don't have to say anything to Quentin. You just tell him what he does, and he goes out and does it. Every once in a while, you have to say something to him. I know he jumped off sides one time and blah, blah, blah. But Quentin just goes out there and does his thing. He's a sophomore, and he does a great job of doing what he's supposed to do. And I thought last week, I thought he played a good football game. This week, I thought he played a good football game, and he's just starting to grow too. He's becoming comfortable in his own skin at that position. And all of a sudden, he's making plays. You probably didn't see it, but they're running a quick screen on the outside, and guess who shows up?
I saw it.
Quentin Mccarty.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's good stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm excited, to be honest. And people are, why are you excited? I'm excited because I'm seeing growth. And that's important. And once those kids start seeing that growth and they start believing that they can do it, a coach can preach. I learned this from Glenn West a long, long time ago, about 27 years ago when I first started coaching. You can preach until you're blue in the face, but until those kids experience it and they understand what you're talking about through their play, they'll never get it. They have to go out there and be in a big game, win a big game before they totally understand what you're talking about. But I can start to see the growth in our kids, that they're starting to understand what we're saying, and you're starting to see it on the field. How will that benefit us? And it's like I talked to the kids today. We have an opportunity to beat a good La Vega team. Learn from the past and put it in the past. Number one, don't listen to the hype. There's a lot of negative going on out there in social media because people that have basically cowards, people that have no skin, like to go on a public website and bash kids. I try to tell our kids not to look at that because it's negative. They don't need any more doubt. We already doubt ourselves as it is as a person. I tell our kids the greatest competitor you ever have in life is yourself. Don't start doubting yourself, and don't let that competitiveness, don't lose that competitiveness. It's always a battle between yourself, but always believe in yourself. So first, block that out and continue to grow and work on what we're trying to do. Stay out of the social media because they're going to draw negativity off that. And that's a fact. And I got to preach to kids because why? Kids are on social media all the time. That is their life. That's what they do. That's how they were brought up. Totally different than you and I. Mm-hmm. So we have to always watch that with social media because we know that's what our kids do. We're sort of trained to do that. If we can block that out and continue to grow, and all of a sudden you beat a La Vega team, and then you finish out the season and you beat a Alvarado and you beat a Waxahachie, at that point you've guaranteed yourself probably a third place finish at worst. Who knows what happens? Now go play Steamville and just let the chips fall there where they may with no worries. But what that also does is it ensures you that you don't run into what I think is a really good Kennedale football team right now. And run into them the first round of the playoffs and then, possibly have a chance to be done there. You just sort of pave your way to have a simpler, a better opportunity to advance farther in the playoffs. Now, I'm trying to explain that the best way I can in common. Playing a second or a third place team in that district where Kennedale is a lot different than playing Kennedale. And Kennedale has all their kids back from last year and they're good. So if you can have an opportunity not to play them until later, do so. It also extends your season and kids get a greater opportunity to go out there and experience what it's like to be in the playoffs. And that's what it's all about for me. I don't care about the wins and losses. I care about watching kids grow and becoming self-confident and becoming confident in who they are and what they're doing and turning into leaders and not followers. And if I can accomplish that, then they're going to reap some rewards and be better because of it. And an opportunity to go to the second round, third round of the playoffs would be huge for our guys. And, that's what we're shooting for. Can we win the district championship? I don't know. But you're always going to fight to do that in a realistic fashion. If you look at where we are right now and the rank that the people are, we're probably setting in an opportunity to get fourth. We don't want that. We want better, and we think we can get better.
Yeah, that game with La Vega then, certainly a big game, and we'll talk more about the Pirates on Wednesday and get a scouting report from them. Good stuff, Coach. A lot of other results over the weekend. I'm going to let you go through those if you don't mind.
Yeah, I want to reflect back to last Wednesday. Our cross-country team was at Steamville, and we didn't have an opportunity to get that on the air, so I wanted to make sure we do that. But our cross-country team went to Steamville. The girls finished third. Kate Tennell finished 14th overall on the boys' side, again led by Caleb Nelson. He finished 11th overall. They will compete in the district cross-country meet at Gatesville at 10 a.m. on Thursday, the 14th. So wish them luck in everything that they're doing. Man, those kids grind. I see them every morning when I'm coming. They get there before I do, and that's pretty early. But they're out there running with Coach Mosqueda and Coach Neely and Coach Parker, and they're out there running and doing their thing and just grinding. So congratulations to them for what they're doing, and of course we wish them luck on Thursday as they go run their cross-country meet. And then, of course, I want to mention that on Tuesday the 12th, tennis is at playing Peaster at Cleburne. That is a by-district round match with our team tennis, so wish them luck in their endeavors in the by-district round. And then, of course, last week our JV beat Heritage 42-0. Those kids did extremely well. I just want to, I watch those films and I get a little excited. We pick a ball off, Heritage is fixing to go in and score. And we pick a ball off, and as we're running down the sideline, we get 2 penalties. Or maybe 3, and it was for blocking the back or on the side or whatever. But what I drew from that is we intercepted that pass, and our kids turned into headhunters. They were going to find blocks, and they were going to be physical, and they were going to help their teammate return the ball. Well, we had turned it back to about our 20. And I'm telling you, I saw 3 hits on that play that I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. Now, they were penalties and they were brought back, but I can fix the penalty part. I can fix the technique part. What I can't fix is the physicality part. You have to bring it and have it, or you either have it or you don't. You're going to be physical or you're not going to be physical, and they were showing some physicality, so I really got excited about that. But they're off to a great season. They're 6-0 right now, and who do you want to give the credit to? I'd give the credit to the coaches and the kids because they're playing as a unit. Defense is playing well. We've moved a couple of kids up from time to time to help us out when we had people injured. So they just keep on plugging, and I think they do a great job. And those coaches go down there and coach them every day, just like we coach the varsity. Our goal is to keep that group together. The more success they can have, the better off they're going to be in the future, the more confidence they're going to have. And here's what happens. Now you take that JV team, and you got a group of guys that are as juniors right now, and this is what we've been missing in the past. Now we're going to have a strong senior class next year. We're going to have good numbers in our senior class, which we haven't had other than the year we went 11-2. When we had Zach Strong and A.J. McCarty and Rowdy Gregory and Reese Rogers and that entire group. Great senior class, and results was good leadership, good season. Now you're going to have a bunch of guys that played on the JV that are going to be varsity level players next year, and they're going to be pushing those guys that are on the varsity right now who are starting for their position. That creates friendly competition, which we have been lacking for 5 years. Friendly competition, iron sharpens iron, makes for a quality program, quality football team. So am I excited about what the JV's doing? You dang right I am. They need to win every game they can, because next year when it comes around, they're going to be fighting for positions. And if those guys that are on the varsity right now aren't getting better at what they do and getting stronger and faster and getting ready to go, guess what? Someone will replace you. And that's just the nature of the beast. That's competition, and that's something you got to have in every program. And I'm excited about the opportunity with year 5, with us having that opportunity to have some friendly competition.
Well, no doubt. 42-0 over Heritage, a previously unbeaten Heritage JV team.
Previously unbeaten.
Stuff.
Yeah, that is good stuff, because watching the film, you can tell that they think they're just fixing to roll over on us, and we got after them well.
Man, I love it.
Our freshman team dropped their game. That's the first game they've lost, I think, in a while. That's a group that started out in the junior high that was not successful. They got great numbers. They have great kids. In the junior high, it's obvious that you don't get the coaching you get at the high school, because you have too many kids for those coaches to give you one-on-one. When they get to the high school, they get it. That freshman class has seen that. They're starting to improve. They've won, I think, 4 of the last 5, so they're doing a great job. And then our combined team hasn't won much, hadn't been real successful, but they're grinding, and I'm seeing some growth in those kids, and I'm seeing some of them come out of their shell. That's the team that we usually put those kids on that aren't ready to go. They're not developed yet. they mature later. My nephew's on that team. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing him starting to grow, and he's starting to get physical, and he's finding himself. And that's exactly why we have those teams and why they play as many games as possible, because even though you may mature later, it doesn't mean you don't have ability. And we start learning and finding yourself, and that's important. And I just think there's a lot of great things going on in the program, all the way from the junior highs to the high school to the varsity, that we're going to reap the rewards for soon.
All right, man, great stuff. I know volleyball took it on the chin
They did.
Friday. They're off tomorrow, right?
They are. Yes, they are. They lost in 3 sets to Glenrose.
Oh, Stephenville.
Tomorrow. Well, I didn't have that either.
I didn't either.
Where? At Stephenville? I did not have that.
Okay.
They must have changed their schedule.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll double check.
I have them here Friday. I didn't have them here Tuesday. I'm glad you saw that, because I looked
That
at their
starts second
schedule.
half of district then.
Yeah, and their schedule didn't have that.
All right.
So we'll have our volleyball team at Stephenville on Tuesday.
Stuckley is hardly ever wrong. We know that.
There's no doubt about that.
Derek Stuckley with BrownwoodNews.com, keeping us in line right
I
there.
either missed it or I don't have the revised schedule or something. But I've been known to miss some things when I look at all these schedules sitting up on my wall and I'm trying to sort through.
I know. You got a wall full of stuff,
I do.
Coach. I love your wall.
I do.
Man, I tell you what. All right, so great stuff again Wednesday. We'll talk more about sub-varsity stuff this week and more on the Waco La Vega Pirates. And our Triple T, are you ready to do the Triple T Player of the Week?
I am.
All right. I was going to talk about this young man too, but I'm going to let you go ahead and tell us who it is.
Sure. Our Player of the Week was, simple for us, we thought, and we started looking at film and watching the way our kids played. A young man I think that's going to wind up being a Player of the Week. One week is Quentin Mccarty. We talked about earlier, that kid's growing. But what Chance did Friday night, Chance Jones, our quarterback, what he did Friday night, he came in the second quarter, midway through the second quarter, he couldn't feel his thumb. It's hurting extremely bad. We had Doc down there, and we also had Doctor down there. They were evaluating his thumb. Just touching it hurt. I asked them what was going on. They were trying to diagnose what was going on. Didn't really know what was going on. Every time he tried to move it or squeeze it, you could see him wince in pain. And I just asked him, I said, "Do you think you can hand the ball off?" He said, "Coach, I'll do whatever I have to do." Which shows great character.
Yes.
Chance is a young man that's been bashed on social media, and he's 17 years old, and he faced it like most adults won't. He embraced it and took it upon himself to work harder, and in his eyes feel like he needs to prove people wrong, which he doesn't need to prove anybody wrong. He just needs to continue to believe in himself and do what he does. But he had 33 yards rushing. He rushed for a touchdown. He also threw 123 yards and had 2 touchdowns. Thought he managed the game well. When I went back and watched film, the things that he did that most people can't see. I mean, I'm a coach, and I've been doing it for 28 years, and I can watch a game on Friday night and know what I'm looking at and can't see something clear enough. That's how fast it goes. Sitting in the stands, we all think we know a lot, and we don't, and you just want to do your evaluation. So as I go back, I'm thinking the same thing. Did Chance do this, do that? I watched film on all the kids. When I watched Chance, times he was pressured in the way he worked his mechanics and set in the pocket to try to deliver a ball. I thought he did an outstanding job. And then I reflected back on the year. He's rushed for, he's rushed for almost 300 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. He averages 4.3 yards a carry every time we call his name when he runs the football. He's thrown for 723 yards and 10 touchdowns, and during the course of 6 games, he's thrown 1 interception. So I think he's doing a great job of managing what we're trying to get him to do. I think he operates our offense. I mean, the detail, the intricacies of our offense. How do we have to make checks based on your front and protections based on every play and what we're trying to do, and whether we're sending the back out and whether or not, whether it's a quick pass, whether it's a 3-step drop, whether the back's releasing on a 3-step drop, if the back's releasing on a quick game. All those have protections that have to be put in place, and he does that well and gets us lined up properly, and I think he manages the game well. So it wasn't difficult for me after watching the film. I also coach the quarterbacks, and but I nominated Chance, and we had some other kids thrown up there, Quentin being one of them, and Chance won the votes this year from our coaches. And our Triple T Player of the Week is Chance Jones.
Well, I'm glad because Chance was under duress a lot the other night. He was able to scramble, make time, threw a couple of great passes on the run. Those 2 touchdown passes to Jackson, one of them was just unbelievable. And I thought he had a good, solid game.
Yeah, me too. And all those came with a thumb that was taped up. Man. And I had to talk to him and ask him, what do you feel like you can do? He told me, he said, Coach, I feel I can throw the quick screen stuff, and I think I can throw the deep ball. He said, the ball that I have to really spin it and use your thumb and throw that dart. He said, I don't know that I can do that. He said, if you call it, I'll try it. But, man, the play that he threw to Jason that scored on the touchdown, he scrambled, came back, just what I'm talking about. Instead of just tucking it and running, kept his eyes down the field, set his feet, threw the ball to Jason. Jason came back, made a great play, and scored a touchdown. And then we threw a play-action post over the top of the safety and drew him down and just said put it out there where Jason can run underneath it, and he threw it out there and Jason ran underneath it. I thought it was a beautiful ball.
Oh, yeah.
He throws one to Thad Hines, a fade, and going on the southwest end, and Thad goes up to make a play. It's a good ball, put in a position where we can catch it or no one can. Thad goes up and draws a penalty on that one. That ball's underthrown. It's an interception, things like that. Right. So I thought he did a good job, managing the game, and I thought he threw the ball well, especially with a thumb that's in a brace right now.
Boy, no kidding, and we'll have Chance on the show with us on Thursday. Looking forward to visiting with him. Man, great stuff today. As you said, there were the 2 Quentins on defense, and I'm glad you pointed them out.
They both played well. The Quentins played well.
They did. All right, great stuff today. You'll give us our NASCAR update?
Yeah, our Monday evening NASCAR report, of course, was won by Kyle Larson. That's race number 7. Good win for him. As I get more mature in my NASCAR knowledge, I realize that a lot of times those guys aren't racing for wins. They're racing for points or to get into the next round of the playoffs. Well, that was a cutoff race. There's 12 guys that were left in the playoffs. After that race, it was cut down to 8.
Oh.
And my boy Kyle Busch finished 4th, as this morning Star corrected me on. I thought it was 3rd, but the whole time I'm watching the half into that race, I just want him to stay where he's at and keep the points so he advances to the round of 8. So now there's 4 races left, and there's 8 people able to get in those 4 races, and it's going to be based off the points they have right now. If they win a race, they're automatically in. Or if they win those stages and they continue to get points, whoever has the most points, if they don't have a win, will be the final 4 into the final race to determine the championship. And the championship's real simple. The top 4, you may finish 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, but whoever finishes higher than the rest wins the championship.
Really?
That's right.
All right. So 4 races left.
4 races left.
8 are vying for the championship.
The next 3 races will cut it down to 4.
Oh, my.
So if you win, you're automatically in. If you don't win, you got to win stages, which gives you points. The top 10 get points. That gets a little crazy, but that's sort of how it works.
All right, there you go. And one of those races coming to Texas Motor Speedway, I think this Sunday.
That'll be
Star.
The next one. You going, Star?
I don't know yet.
Oh man, if I was off, I'd be going, but I got work to do, so I can't. I got to record it. Yeah. It's Texas, Kansas, and Martinsville, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those are the 3 to determine.
All right.
The final.
Going down to the nitty-gritty.
The nitty-gritty.
All right. Man, great stuff today, Coach. Wednesday, we'll talk more about La Vega, get our player of the week in here, Chance Jones, and whatever else comes up. How about them Cowboys? Just had to sneak that one in.
How about them Cowboys? They could turn the ball over on the goal line and do all that and still win by a plethora.
You mentioned earlier how tough sometimes it is to score in the red zone than it is outside. And I think the same holds true sometimes for pro football. You get a bigger field, sometimes it's easier to spread out.
Man, I tell you, I saw a game, and I made the comments to some people. They're all excited. It was Baylor playing OU, I think, at Cowboy Stadium. I may be wrong, but it was Baylor and somebody. Well, the kid gets caught on about the 5. I'm like, he hadn't scored yet. Well, he wound up not scoring. Well, the other day I went and watched San Saba and Goldthwait, and Goldthwait makes a play and gets all the way down to the 5, and they tackle him. I'm like, man, it'd been better if he'd have got in, because people just assume you get down there, you're going to score. Well, when that field gets you're paying in a phone booth, it becomes extremely difficult to call plays. So the Cowboys did that
3 times inside the 10, I think.
I'm watching film on La Vega and Stephenville from Friday night, and the kid picks it off, and as he's running into the end zone, the knucklehead puts his up in the air to show people, look, I'm the guy, and he fumbled it, and it rolls through the end zone, and it's a touchback. They don't get the touchdown.
Wow.
They put it on the 20 and give it to the Pirates, but 2 plays later they threw another pick, so it worked out for them. But, man, I see some knucklehead things going on.
I think that happened in college football. Somebody Saturday, I saw
Better
the
give a
highlights.
shout out to the other good Maroon team, those Aggies, boy.
Yeah.
They pulled one off against number 1 Alabama.
They did.
And I like the Longhorns too, Stuck. I do like them, but by golly, they couldn't score because they had both hands around their throat. What were they up, 21-7?
28-7.
Oh, my Lord
Trust me.
Jesus. I've been there. I know what that's like. It's
Time to wrap this show up.
it's a miserable feeling, but I've been there.
Hey, I tell you, that Rattler kid from Oklahoma may not see the field ever again.
No, I don't think he will.
Man, that backup they had was unbelievable.
Well, the backup from Texas has done a fine job.
Oh, yeah, Casey Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about that. All right, good stuff, Coach. Anything else?
Yeah, let's thank those that make this show possible. Auto Glass Magic, Avalon Custom Homes, Bruner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bon Young, Dr. Pepper Bonding Company, Edward Jones Investments, Hendrick Medical, Howie Enterprises, Humphrey Peets, Landmark Life, MC Bank, Painter & Johnson Associates, Smith & Sharp Agencies, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, The Real Talk with Chad Valdez podcast, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
Well, Chad was listening in from Tallahassee, Florida to the game on Friday.
Yeah,
he gets around.
Yeah, he's a fan. He's a Cowboy. He is a Aggie fan, and he is a Brownwood Lion fan. I got to mention another one on that list. I'm telling you, it could be Thursday. It could be Tuesday when we got junior high going. It could be JV. It could be San Saba playing Goldthwait, and it's always going to be the Brownwood Lions, but Charles Lockwood is a football fan, and I see him at about every single football game that's held around, and a great supporter of the Brownwood Lions for many years, always has been, but man, I see Mr. Lockwood at all the football games. I look over there at San Saba Goldthwait, and he's sitting there watching a good football game. He is just a true football fan.
Yep. And sponsor of our scoreboard show and
yes,
several
he
other
sponsors
stuff.
a lot
Supporter.
of things. Very big supporter of the Brownwood Lions and very appreciative of him.
You bet. We appreciate all of our great supporters. Coach, we'll see you back here on Wednesday.
You bet. Have a great day, Brownwood.
Brownwood Lions head football coach, athletic director Sammy Burnett on the Coaches Show every Monday and Wednesday at this time here on KOXE and video streamed at KOXE.com.